students, I welcome all of you to this online class once again. Today's class is for class 8 and we will be continuously having classes from now on. We will have a recap of what we discussed yesterday. If you remember, I talked about Pandit Ravishankar in the last video or in the last online class. So, Pandit Ravishankar can be called as the ambassador of India. What do you mean by ambassador? One who represents a country. An official who represents a country. Now, India has many ambassadors all over the world. So, what is their job? Their job is to build a relationship between their own country and the country in which they are appointed as an ambassador. But Pandit Ravishankar is a different kind of ambassador. What do you mean by a different ambassador? He was an ambassador of the world who represented India. How did he represent? He did not, hold any official post, but through the musical instrument sitar. The world came to know what this sitar is all about. You see, the word sitar comes from the word Sitar, S-E-H-T-A-R. This is a Farsi word introduced by Amir Khusro. And what does this word sitar mean? It means three strings. So, if you analyze the word sitar, it has its roots in the name Sitar, and Pandit Ravishankar was so passionate about playing this instrument that he performed many concerts in different parts of Europe and the United States of America and in many other Asian countries. So because of his wonderful playing and the mastery over this instrument, people came to know what the sitar is. It's a melodious instrument, very soft, and many ragas were introduced by Pandit Ravishankar through the instrument sitar. Now, Pandit Ravishankar had many great people with whom he performed several concerts. In yesterday's class, we had discussed this. Yehudi Menuhin, the greatest violin player of his times, he was a Jew. He performed with Yehudi Menuhin. And George Harrison, who was a very important member in the Beatles group, was so taken up by Pandit Ravishankar's playing the sitar. He was so enamored, that is a word, enamored. He was so taken up, he was so attracted to this instrument that he asked Pandit Ravishankar to teach him the sitar. And Pandit Ravishankar took him as his disciple. Harrison learned the sitar and again he promoted this instrument. He spoke about this instrument and played the instrument in different parts of the world. So, George Harrison and Pandit Ravishankar, they took the instrument sitar to the world. Now, there are some important points which you need to remember regarding the awards received by Pandit Ravishankar. Regarding the awards. What are the awards that he received? Number one, the Polar Music Prize. This is known as the Nobel Prize. It's almost equivalent to the Nobel Prize in music. The Nobel Prize in music is considered as the Polar Music Prize. Equivalent, almost the same as the Nobel Prize. Pandit Ravishankar was a recipient of this award. He got this award. And the Indian government honored him with Padma Vibhushan, one of the most significant awards. Okay? It's an honorable award. Okay? Padma Vibhushan, he was the recipient of that. And then the Magsaysay Award. This is given for performers of the Asian countries. The Magsaysay Award. And Pandit Ravishankar received this award for his outstanding contribution in promotion of this musical instrument, sitar. So he won many international awards, national awards, as well as awards given by the Asian countries. Right. Then Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award given to any person in India. Again, Pandit Ravishankar was the recipient of this proud award. And then the Japanese government, they were were so much impressed with this performance that the Japanese government gave an award, Premier Imperial Award. Premier Imperial Award. This was an award instituted by the Japanese government for outstanding performance in the field of music. And this award went to Pandit Ravishankar once again. Then the Grammy Award, again a very, very famous and important and a celebrated award. The Grammy Award, this was given to Pandit Ravishankar, but posthumously. What do you mean by posthumously? An award which is given to a person after his death, right? So in the year 2012, Pandit Ravishankar was awarded this posthumously, the Grammy Award. Right. Now, so much for the awards received by Pandit Ravishankar. Now, have a look at this. Pandit Ravishankar composed a new raga. And when did he compose that? On the 50th anniversary of India's independence. India celebrated 50 years of its independence, and during that celebration, Pandit Ravishankar composed a new raga known by the name Rag Swarna. Okay? And his autobiography was also written. It goes by the name Ragmala. Pandit Ravishankar he wrote his autobiography under the name Ragmala. So if you read this book, every chapter of the book describes a raga. He did not kind of write anything about himself. You see how great this man is. His autobiography goes by the name Ragmala, and in every chapter he talks about a separate rag, a specific rag. Okay? And this book became a famous book, especially for those who learn sitar, the musical instrument sitar. And as I told you, Pandit Ravishankar, he has a daughter whose name is Anushka Ravishankar. Right now, Anushka is performing in different parts of the world, and she is actually passing on the legacy of her father. So if you see Anushka performing in a concert, you can see Pandit Ravishankar, a piece of Pandit Ravishankar or a part of Pandit Ravishankar there in Anushka. So what I would like to say before I wind up is that India is a country which is known for different kinds of music. In the sense, it is known for the ragas, it is known for the classical music, and there are different forms of music which we can find in India. The Western music, the different kinds of dances, fusion music, all contribute to the glory of India. India is known for different classical dances like Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Odissi, Kathak. It is known for classical ragas, and it is also known for several spiritual singings, bhajans, kirtans. They all come under music, but all these pieces of music or categories of music help man to come closer to God. Indian music is very spiritual, as I told you before. It takes you closer and closer to God. Okay? And the Muslims, they have their own kind of singing. They have the qawwalis, they have the Sufi songs. All these, okay, they come under the one umbrella. They come under the umbrella of music. And all forms of music take us closer and closer to God. So Indian music is spiritual, and there are several artists who have promoted Indian music, like Bhimsen Joshi, Ustad Bismillah Khan, Pandit Ravishankar, Ustad Zakir Hussain, and the list is exhaustive, elaborate. So before we wind up, let's keep one thing in mind, that is music in its purest form, in its classical form, helps us to become more spiritual, more sober, and more active. So, I hope I had given you a very clear picture of Pandit Ravishankar. Some questions, right? So, So some important questions in this lesson would be, who was the Ustad of Pandit Ravishankar? Obviously Ustad Alauddin Khan. Who was the brother of Pandit Ravishankar? Uday Shankar. And what was Uday Shankar? He was the manager of a dance troupe, in charge of a dance troupe. And this dance troupe went to different parts of Europe and the United States for performing. Right. And what exactly is the other name for sitar? What is the origin of this word? It comes from a Farsi word which is known as sitar. The awards received by Pandit Ravishankar. You have to be familiar with the awards. And the raga composed by Pandit Ravishankar, that is Rajswarna. And when was it composed? On the 50th anniversary of India's independence. And his autobiography is Ragmala. And in this book, he talks about most of the ragas. Every chapter deals with a particular raga. Alright, so with this we wind up. I'll give you some more questions. You can try to answer the questions from the book. So stay safe till we meet again.